Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of classifying numbers. This is standard 6.2a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 7 of the 2025 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a Venn diagram here. And it shows the relationship between three sets of numbers. We've got rational numbers, integers, and then whole numbers. Now, our Venn diagram, when we think of a Venn diagram, typically we think of something like this, but this is just one type of Venn diagram. We're looking at circles, and in this case, they happen to be squares, situated inside or next to or overlapping with each other. And that is supposed to show the relationship between different quantities or different amounts. So, what are whole numbers, right? So, whole numbers are numbers that include 0, and then all positive numbers that are whole. There are no decimal, no fraction, numbers we count by. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Integers, you see how integers is on the outside of that. So naturally, integers would include all whole numbers and also include negative integers. But we're still not getting into decimals. We're still not getting into fractions. So you might think -3, 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 going on forever. So rational numbers include integers. They include whole numbers because it's on the outside of that. And it also finally introduces decimals, anything that could be shown as a ratio or a fraction. So you can include 4/3. Okay, you can include 1.85. You can include -97 over 102. There's all kinds of things you can do, as long as it can be represented by a fraction. So that means it's not repeating, and it terminates at some point. Outside of that would be irrational numbers, like pi, square root of 2. All right, so we need to situate these four and find the one that would not be located in these regions. So let's switch colors. So I'm going to go to blue. Now, we might think initially this goes out here, because what have I said? I've said that whole numbers only go in the first box, and then negative and positive whole numbers that you count by would go in the integers box. Anytime you get a fraction or decimal, it goes in the rational numbers box. But what have we also learned whenever we look at fractions? Whenever we look at fractions, we need to be thinking to ourselves, can this be simplified? Can we simplify -8/2? Well, actually, yes, we can. -8/2, right, is going to be -4. If you divide up, that 2 goes into 8. 4 times, since it's negative, -8/2 is -4. So this is sneaky. This -4 actually goes in the integers box. Now, we can write it as -4, or we can write it as -8/2. It's the same thing, but it's actually an integer, and that is probably going to be a most chosen incorrect answer. -33 definitely goes in the integers box. 11/8. Okay, once again, can it be simplified? Well, it would be 1 3/8. You can't really simplify 3/8. So now we're going to go here. 1 3/8, or I would say 11/8. Would not be located in the shaded region. And then I've got 2. Well, 2 is a whole number. And that's also not in the shaded region. So that's interesting. We've got 2 possible answers. We know that's not correct. Well, let's go back and take a look. What is our shaded region? Remember, the way that this works is the shaded region, I'm going to switch to green, is anything inside the shaded region, and it includes the whole numbers. Remember, integers automatically includes everything that's on the inside of it, which means 2 is an integer, which means we're not going to use it. So our answer here is going to be C, 11/8.